Welcome to the court. I'm Scott Mitchell, head tennis professional here at Charlotte Country Club, and this is Courtside, where I'll share some of my secrets to strategies, tactics, stroke production, some of my favorite drills that we do out on the tennis court, and a whole lot more right here. So you're looking to change your grip on your serve. I think that's a great idea. But let's talk a little bit about some of the basics that you're going to need to know as you go through this grip change, because it's going to be a little bit difficult and you got to stick with it because it's going to be frustrating at times. But the payoff will be huge. So let's give it a shot. One of the first things we need to make sure you have is the correct grip as you're going to try to do this. The correct grip is like a hammer grip. One of the easiest ways to get it is hold your racket like if it was a hammer, and this was the edge of the hammer, and you're trying to hammer in a nail. This would be the correct grip. Another way to get it is if you hold it up in your non-dominant hand and you reach up as high as you can reach, you'll have the V in your hand should be up on the top left side. This is called a continental grip, and it's the grip you're going to want to use when you're improving your serve. Let's take a look at the next step. All right, the next thing we want to talk about, besides the stance, which should be pointing, your hips and shoulders should be pointing a little bit off to the side and not too much square to the net. That will force you to do an arm swing. So we want to get the hip and shoulders involved, so point your hips off to the side. The next very important step is called pronation. Remember, what you used to do with your forehand grip was just swing forward with your forearm and your wrist. There was nothing that needed to rotate, or what we call pronation. It just goes forward. So you have a flat serve, maybe a hint of spin from time to time, but not a whole lot. So now with the grip change, if I swung forward, my racket would look like this. If this is my old motion of my arm, it's the same thing. I would hit it with the edge of the racket. I want to learn what's called pronation, which is when I rotate my arm forward to where the strings will point towards my target. So we have to learn this part of our motion now, which is where it's going to be difficult. At first, when you first start hitting, balls are going to be shooting off to the left side if you're right-handed, because you're not used to rotating or pronating your forearm. Remember, pronation is the rotation of your forearm and your wrist towards your target. So those of you that are changing your grip, you're not used to this yet. So what I would recommend is moving a little bit close to the net, not so much at the baseline, but closer to the net. Start your racket up high and just get used to pronating. When you're done, freeze to see where your strings are pointed. They should be pointing towards your target. Go up and freeze. Remember, you don't have to hit it hard. Just get used to this motion because it's going to be very different for you now that you've changed your grip. The next thing you want to do is make sure you follow through. After you make contact with the ball, it's following through with the same side that you make contact with against your opposite leg. So following through all the way across to my left side is what I'm looking to do. You have the three basic elements, and let's review them really quickly. Remember, first was the grip change, hold it like a hammer. Then is the pronation. Remember, once you're up there, do it from the net and hit it softly. Rotating your arm forward, the string should be pointing towards your target when you're done. Don't try to hit a big serve yet. Just start your racket up here and get used to pronation. Then the last thing we talked about was the follow through. Once you hit the ball, the same side that you hit with should go across your body and point towards your calf, or even touch your calf. Once you have those three things, you can go back and add the rest of your motion to it. But hopefully those three things will help you as you go through this process of changing your grip. It's a very difficult process for some of you. Some of you it's going to be very easy. But it will improve your game, I guarantee it. So I hope that helped you, and I'll see you next time on Courtside.